This is the 1TB Steam Deck OLED. Well, technically it's the box, so here you have a nice shot of the machine. And in this video, we're going to unbox it. We're going to look at what makes it special, I'll show you the key features, and I'll tell you what sets it apart from the other models. And I'm also going to tell you why, in my opinion, the 512GB version is a bit of a trap, and why I'd always choose this one. Come May this year, my Steam Deck will officially be 1 year old, and I've got a full 1 year with the Steam Deck video coming up for that. But here's the thing, I never actually unboxed the OLED version here on the channel, and recently someone asked in the comments, hey, what exactly makes the 1TB version better than the 512, or along those lines? And that got me thinking. So it's time to talk about it. As you open the box, which you have seen, we're greeted by quite a minimal packaging. We've got the Steam Deck here and the charger. These are usually inside the plastic wrapper and there's a seal, but basically this is what you'll get. There is the 45 watt hour USB-C charger. It'll take about a couple of hours to charge the device fully with this. What is great about it is it has a 1.5 meter long cord. That's about 6.5 feet for you Americans, and it's great because you can charge your phone as well, and even your laptop. And then we have this sleeve around the actual carrying case, and here we have it, the carrying case and this paper sleeve inside the box. It's a good weight, about 900 grams more or less, and it's the 1TB version right here. This you can open. I left it there just in case I'm going to resell this. And here on the back you have an explanation in 9 different languages. It says that you need a Wi-Fi and a Steam account in order to play and use the device. And then we have the handle here to carry the case, which is very handy. One thing that I really like about the packaging is the inside of the cardboard box. Really simple thing that really hints at portability. They print it in many different languages, all the places that you can use your Steam Deck at, like on the toilet they even put, or in auto, or sulla luna, which means on the moon in Italian, or in Flugzeug, which is on the airplane in German, or in terrazza, on the couch, and so on and so forth. That's pretty cool. And let's look at the carry case, which is about 12-inch long, 30 centimeters. That's good. And in width, we're about 5.5 inch wide. That's 14.5 centimeters. Well, the thickness here is 2.5 inches thick, which comes at around 7 centimeters. I like the case, it's nice and sturdy with the handle stitched in, great for carrying, excellent. And it weighs about around 900 grams with the Steam Deck inside, and we've got this protector here in front of the zipper, and in the back there is this elastic feature, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this in just a minute. And this Velcro strap covers the 2 zippers very well. They've got this white plastic handle, which is quite a nice feature. And by the way, if you want, you can put a lock here, because they interlock, and you can just put a lock to lock the case. If you're wondering about that rubber band in the back, usually I use it to just cover the charger. I just put it in there like such, and then it's nicely covered and tucked away, and I can carry it with me. And finally, let's get inside the carry case and let's reveal the centerpiece. Here it is, the 1TB Steam Deck OLED. You might have seen a ton of shots of the Steam Deck OLED, but let's have a quick look at it again, look at the main features, and then I'll tell you what you only get with the 1TB model. And here it is in all its OLED beauty. 640 grams, that's about 30 grams less than the LCD model. Nice and slim, sits in hand very well. We've got the micro SD port down here at the bottom right, and we've got 8 face buttons or inputs. These are the trackpads, and then we got 4 shoulder buttons and 4 buttons in the back, and of course the 2 trackpads, so we're at 20 inputs on the machine. Nice and snappy, nice and grippy. This is the top side with the famous orange on and off button, the USB-C, the vent, which if it's new smells delicious, the headphone jack, volume, shoulder buttons, and obviously the back triggers. Very, very nice, nicely made, nice, super crisp 7.4 inch screen, and good durable materials here. It's a very enjoyable feel, and as you probably heard, many people say this sits in the hand super comfortably. Everybody that tests, even other machines, says that this is king when it comes to ergonomics, and I agree, it's really good. But now, what are those special features that only the 1TB OLED has? And first up, the most obvious feature, this model comes with 1TB of storage, of internal NVMe storage. To me, that is now a must. I didn't think about it so much when I bought it, but I'm very glad I did, because I ended up playing mostly AAA games, and I also like to download a bunch of titles just to try them out. So I'm always hovering close to full. And even with the 1TB, I usually use a micro SD, which I plug in on top just to spread things out. Honestly, I don't want to think about what it'd be like to have 512 GB only, because that would mean constantly uninstalling and juggling games, and especially with bigger titles like Hitman or Cyberpunk, that would be a real hassle. So for me, that 1TB isn't just a luxury, it's actually a necessity. And as I said, I found out about this afterwards, so I'm glad I got the 1TB. Now, number 2 and 3 are kind of gimmicky, but honestly they're pretty cool. When you boot up the 1TB model, it plays a startup animation that's exclusive to this version. It's just a little sequence, nothing game changing, but it adds a little bit of personality. It's like the system saying, hey, you got the top tier. And even though it's purely cosmetic, I kind of love it. And then there's number 3, which, as I said, is just cosmetic, but I really kind of love it, and that is the one and only red keyboard, which comes with the 1TB version, and that looks really cool. And feature number 4 is absolutely great, and I only recently found out about it. The 1TB OLED Steam Deck has a liner case inside the case that you can actually take out. It's velcroed inside the normal case, and you can just pull it out, and that is absolutely fantastic to travel with the Steam Deck, because it's going to save you a ton of space, and it still protects your Steam Deck really well. And by the way, if you want to find out more about this, you can go and watch my video about traveling with the Steam Deck, which is going to come up right here. And last but not least, here's the screen, which for me was actually the main reason I decided to get the 1TB version. Not the storage, not the case, it was the anti-edge glass. To me, this makes a great difference, especially if you play near windows or outside or even under strong lights. It just cuts off the reflections way down, and it gives that screen a softer and more premium look. It's easier on the eyes, and it just makes the whole device feel more high-end. You still get that amazing OLED 7.4 inch 90Hz HDR deep contrast and super vibrant display, but the 1TB model for me is just way more playable in any light conditions. The anti-glare screen is one of those things that if you have it, and once you have it, you really don't want to go back. So at the beginning of the video, I said that the 512GB OLED is kind of a trap, and I know that's probably a little controversial, so let me clarify that. And of course, it depends on your budget. If the 512 is what makes sense for you, then get it, because you'll get the same amazing OLED screen, almost the same. You get the better battery than the LCD, and you get those small performance upgrades to the LCD. But here's why I said that. If you're someone who ends up buying a 1TB micro SD, a screen protector to deal with glare, and maybe gets a better case, you're already spending close to what the 1TB model costs. So the difference is, with the 512 you're actually piecing it together and still missing the anti-glare glass, the fast internal storage, the dual layer premium case, and those other cosmetic extras. So I really think that 512 ends up being a halfway step for a lot of people, and if you're like me, downloading tons of games, playing big titles and caring about the screen quality, then the 1TB model just makes more sense. And of course, if you think very pragmatically, if you want to sell the device, it is going to have a better resale value as well. And there we go. This was my unboxing of the 1TB Steam Deck OLED, showing you the features and telling you what the difference is between the 1TB model and the 512GB model, and also telling you why the Steam Deck OLED 1TB for me is the choice to go for. I hope you enjoyed this, and by the way, if you're still on the fence about getting a Steam Deck or maybe getting something else, I made this video up here which is Steam Deck in 2025 must buy your pass. You can go and watch that. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you're still here, then maybe you got something out of it, so leave us a thumbs up. And if you enjoy these kind of videos and you don't want to miss any of them in the future, feel free to become a part of this community and press the subscribe button. Other than that, I hope you'll enjoy your Steam Deck, whichever one you get or whichever handheld you get. Keep gaming and see you in the next one. Bye bye.